All right. Nora, your turn, and then Dr. Chris.
Good morning, everyone. It's so nice to be back. Happy birthday, Misty. Most of you will know me as Natural Mold Solution. I've had a rebrand. I'm now Nature's Defense, and I create business bundles and work with cleaning companies and property developers and builders that want to learn how to make money from mold and kill and remove mold from their premises. So I've expanded a little bit. I actually have products that I develop, a mold shield surface cleaning product, and I'm in the midst of developing a mold oil. And I love what I do. I kill mold. I help people with mold. I'm the mold lady. Norah Copithorne, Nature's Defense. I've just got my first distributor in the US, and I'm getting them around Australia. So if you know anyone who wants to make money from mold, put them in touch with me.
We have missed you. There's been a number of us around here who have missed you. People were asking by the end of last year, what about the girl who does mold? Nora. They go, where is she? I know, she's busy. But we'll see what we can do about
it. I was under
It's good. It's the same reason we lost Glenn. Taught him how to sell extra well, and then it lost him.
Oh, he's doing so well. He takes, and you know, he still quotes you, Misty.
I know. He sent me a birthday message last night at 1 minute to midnight. He goes, I'm in. It's good. Dr. Chris, your turn, and then Debbie.
With the biblical rains that have just been happening where I live, I've been vacuuming mold off the floor of the house for several times a week.
All right. This now brings us to our weekly speaker spot. Give me a moment while I set up my screen. Did anyone notice who I've got in as a speaker today? Did anyone see?
No.
Very good, Diane. That's right. You should never have noticed. I left it blank this week. I thought, I'm going to wait because I know someone, the right person, is going to turn up. So give me a moment while I set up my screen. See, you can't see who this right person is. But I just thought, just the right person is going to be here. And then that person will be speaking today. So every week here at Business at Breakfast International, one of the members gets an opportunity to share with the group further insights into their business or enlighten the group a little bit more about themselves. The members can use the time to problem solve or seek assistance from the group as a collective. The time is theirs to use however they would like. Now, today, for a lot of you, you may not know this person to be a member because she's been around like way ago and hasn't been out for the last year or so. But Norah Copithorne has been a member of Business at Breakfast for quite some time. And the reason it's so perfect that she's in today is because I think, who was it? Was it Fred who said it? And to do with, who was it who said something about mold? No, it was Dr. Chris. Said something about mold. Oh my God, I feel like I'm vacuuming mold off the ground like every single day. That's so correct. Over here in Australia, but I don't think it's just subject to Australia, and Jeff's got crazy weather, and because the rain, in some places here in Australia, it's raining too much. In others, it's promising rain, but never quite making it. The other day, 33 degrees here in Chinchilla. We're very dry space here. 33 degrees. Oh no, that's cool by normal standards, Laura. But apparently because of the humidity at 92, it felt like 41. I don't understand how that's not actually 41, because if it feels like 41, it should be just 41. But because Google promised rain, but never delivered for like a week. And then in the end, it did rain. We got rain, but the next town an hour away, apparently the rain came in sideways. It actually hit the next town over because they flooded. And the next town over is like 83 k's away. So we got rain, but not like they did. And we don't flood here. They're very, 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 very flat over there. So it's just perfect that you're in today, Norah. So Norah is, well, I've known her as a natural mold solution. Diane and Jeff and Faith have known her as a natural mold solution, but now it's don't tell me, it's Nature's Defense. And so she's branched out, probably, it's my guess, from what you were saying, is you've branched out from helping individuals and individual houses with the mold solution to now helping cleaners do this because they can access more people than you were able to, so you can help more all at once. But I'm going to give you some structure that I'm not going to let you just talk randomly for the next up to 8 minutes, right? I'm going to give you some structure. I want your elevator pitch, right? Again, to just remind us what it is that you do. And then I want the history of you to the mold solution. How is it that you came about doing this mold thing? Because in actual fact, your history story is really good. How is it that you came about doing this mold thing? See, from there, we can understand why it is that you help cleaners to do it, because they can access the houses faster than you can. So that's all I'm after, is just your elevator pitch again, and then the history of how you ended up doing this mold thing. After that, we're going to have a stack load of questions to ask you. So I just want you to stop there. So not asking for 8 minutes, just a quick history. And with that, Norah, I'll let you take it away.
Misty, you're too kind to me.
You're not the
morning,
first
everyone.
one we put in the spot.
It's always a joy. So, good morning, everyone. Norah Copithorne from Nature's Defense. Nature's Defense actually does business bundles and shows businesses how to make money from mold using a natural process and products. I came to this position. It was a bit of an odd journey, but I had a very good friend who was a healer of all things, who lived in a beautiful suburb of Sydney in a beautiful home, and they got sick. And no, we couldn't figure out what was wrong. They couldn't figure out. It took about a year, and it turned out they were living with mold, and they had to leave their business, move, take a year off, and relocate it in Jindabyne, of all places. That showed me the harmful impact that mold can have on people's lives. And coincidentally, do love coincidence and synchronicity, I came across a book that talked about a natural solution. I pursued that path to make sure it was valid and creditable. I decided that because I have a sustainable side to my nature, I'm not a scientist. I really do love business. And I looked at this and I thought, how do we share it? How do we make it accessible to everyone? And I started coming to the group because the group is wonderful. Misty is awesome. It was COVID. Natural mold solution came to play. I think I went through 3 different identities before I landed on natural mold solution. And I started talking about it. So that's my journey in to get to this point. I've done a course now on mold because I thought it was a good idea. 150 hours of mold, guys. I know more about mold than any of us really want to know. The world has just opened up to facilitate this solution. So now I've got much more clarity, and I'm delighted to help businesses bring it in as a service and show them how to make money from it. So that's it. I'd welcome any and all questions.
Excellent. So I'm just going to add in a couple of stories of my own. So here's some places where you might not think of for mold. In car, if you've got an older car and it's been raining and it's got some weird smell, later when the sun comes out, then there's water getting in somewhere. So that's kind of like a mold smell. I know I had a strange smell in my laundry yesterday. Turns out it was Simon and Noah's swimmers that have just been left damp and molding on the floor in the laundry. So anyhow, that's had its own solution. Go through there, although I know the solution I wanted with that. I'll tell you another interesting story. And this is how relevant it is for mold to understand how dangerous it is. Many years ago, so before I had the boys, and probably not long after I had the boys, I used to sew. I used to make clothes. I used to make the most amazing cushions, right? So embroidered, half hand embroidered and half patchwork cushions, right? And so I was forever down at, quilting stores. And there was a particular quilting store that I was in all the time. And the woman there who owned it was rarely there this particular year. And when she came in, she was literally coughing her guts up all the time and just really sick. And so then she'd go away and come back. Anyhow, one day she was there and I've gone, look at you, you've come back. What have you been gone for like 8 months? And she said, yeah, they finally worked out what was wrong with me. She said, it turns out it was mold. She said she wasn't getting any better, and they'd done these chest scans, and then they asked, how long have you been a smoker? She said, I've never smoked ever. And so they had to look into other things because her lungs had the look of a 5-packet a day, 40-year smoker, she said what had happened was about a year earlier, or 10 months earlier, it had rained in Canberra and her house flooded. And she thought that everything was dried out, the carpet was pulled up and everything was dried out. But there was this one spot in her bedroom. And so you can imagine when she's sick, she's laying down in bed to rest, right? So she's getting put back in the room. In her bedroom, she had thick, heavy tapestry curtains, and her curtains touched the carpet by like a millimeter. So there was just this line of damp where the mold went through in the line of carpet and the curtains. And so she was sleeping in the mold room for over 8 months, and it was literally killing her very slowly. It took that long for the doctors to work it out. So mold, really bad, really, really bad. So Pat, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, just a couple of things. First of all, my long-term permanent asthma is due to growing up in a bedroom, attic bedroom, where there was mold on the walls. Secondly, Sydney's known for the black mold, and I can vouch for it because as my sister is one of the cleanest people on the planet. Honestly, she came out of hospital after having kids in a house was spotless. That's how clean she is. I never could achieve that, no matter 4 kids later. But she was renting for a time in Mosman, just in Sydney, and I was staying over in this place, and they had 2 bedrooms. And in this bedroom, and I kid you not, there was water running down the wall. It was mold. It was absolutely moldy, and it triggered me for about 18 months afterwards. Took that long to get through it.
Yeah, right. There you go. Debbie, you've got your hand up.
Yes, I love that you're selling to cleaners. I think that's awesome. Would you still sell to the individual, or is this not available anymore?
A good question, Deb. What I do now is actually point people to the people that are selling my products. So if somebody, Kate McConville, for instance, is selling the products and services, I point people to her because I deal with businesses. Anyone with an ABN, I will sell to directly. Anyone else, I put to my team.
Okay, thanks.
Yep, excellent, great. Yep, so you've got salesmen that do the domestic side and then salesmen that do the cleaner side. Yep, nice one. Excellent, well done, Nora. Jeff, you got your hand up?
Yeah, a few questions. One, Nora, first of all, I'd just like to compliment you. I've known you 3 years now. You've never deviated from what you're doing. You've always been in that lane, that niche, and you should be complimented. Yeah, you've rebranded, but it's all consistent with what you've started out to do at least 3+ years ago. So, which is great. I was wondering, do you have a patent on the new product that you're about to release?
It's in process. I've kicked it off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The other thing is, you're putting videos out there with regard to mold remediation. I know I went through that process, and they tore half the house apart, quite honestly, because of the roof leak we didn't know about. It was just absolutely incredibly how expensive it was. And the thing is, as homeowners, with regard to any particular leaks, rather than having the hazmat people come in, how do you know what makes sense? I mean, if you have a mold on the ceiling or something like that, can you mitigate it somehow? Or can you actually do it yourself rather than calling out the hazmat guys? So,
Jeff, you can. You still need to fix the hole in the roof of the leak. That still needs to be done. And the people that I work with would use the protocol before they do the fix, so they kill the existing mold. And when you open up the house, you actually release the mold from the cavities that have been sealed previously. So you would need to do the process, the protocol throughout the fix of the issue itself. And that works very effectively. But it takes a bit of communication. And in fact, I think most of us remember Glenn, who's got his cleaning company. Glenn's actually taken up the Nature's Defense protocol, and he's done over 700 cleans now. He's done 6-fixture mold remediation. He's taken it to the next level, but the results have been phenomenal. So I can say this with confidence that yes, there is a way. Homeowners need to sign up for it, but there is a way. Yeah. The goal is, Jeff, that we have everybody with a kit
That's
Now,
I
have
can't
you,
get out of my head now. Is every time I see someone, like when it rains, and then I go around people's houses and go, oh, I think that
can you share a video that you might have, Nora, of cleaning, of trying to mitigate the damage to a ceiling,
There's
like a small
there's
closet area?
um I have a video on the process of what to do and how to do it. I can share that, Jeff. I'm on my phone this morning, so Misty, if you send me, which I know you will, I'll share it out to the group in an email. Use it, it will, and if I can help in any way, I'm happy to. And Jeff, I've actually got a wonderful lady who's in Pennsylvania who's got the solution. So I'm not across Australia yet, but I've managed to make it to Pennsylvania.
Crack the international. It's the accent. Excellent. Joe, you've got your hand up, and then Sarah, I can see that you're after Joe. Yep.
Thanks for that, Nora. I just was wondering on price, how much does it cost?
Good question. So the kits for residential end users is $15.97. And then I have a reduced rate for anyone with an ABN that wants to engage with me. One kit is $1,000, and then there are business bundles. So depending on how extensively people want to work, I've got a $5,000 bundle that actually provides the training and the support to get up and running quickly. And I've got a $3,000 bundle that has the online training with a bit of support. And there's a growing group of people that are making their way to learn how to use Nature's Defense with mold. So it's all about the training and the support once people get the hardware and the software to do the solution.
Yep. Excellent.
Terrific. Thank you.
Thank you. Sarah, you got your hand up.
Yes. Hi, Nora. Definitely want to do a show on this. As I said, mold is a big topic around the world, actually. I'm in Canada. I hear that you're just in Australia and the States. Are you going to be coming to Canada? Will it be offered here?
You know, the interesting thing is I've got long arms, and I'm looking at who to work with, and it's all about the people.
Right. Well, I'll have to look and see if I've got people on my Rolodex here, because our houses here, everything's made out of wood, and we're very moist, especially here in the West Coast. And mold is prevalent everywhere, and people have these hacking coughs and they don't realize, oh, it's just remnants of COVID, or it's just seasonal allergies, and half the time it's mold and they don't know it. So yeah, we need a lot more education on mold and what to do about it. So yes, I would love to interview you, and do find somebody here in Canada and England. I mean, Europe needs you as well. I mean, because it's huge over there too. You should see some of the houses.
Darwin. Darwin needs it. So when I was growing up, I had a friend who lived in Darwin, and he said in summer you have to run the air conditioner 24/7, just not because it's hot, yes, but not because it's hot like when you're out of the house, but because to stop mold. Because you turn it off overnight and the mold comes through straight away because it's so damp, it's so humid. And so that's always on my mind. I love where we've moved to here in Chinchilla. We have ducted air conditioning, and so it's hot, and I hear people out in the streets who say, oh, I had my air conditioner off today. I'm like, why? It's so humid. Like, this is when the mold's coming in. Like, you got to keep it on just to keep everything dried out. And so, yeah, I consider the air conditioner an important sunk cost. You know what? Pay for it, because it's going to be cheaper than all the other dramas that are going to come from having a damp house. So, yeah, excellent. Thank you so much, Sarah. I'm very mindful of the time too. So, and thank you, Nora. Thank you for allowing me to just throw you underneath the bus today. You're not the first. There's plenty that have gone that way. And yet you did a great job. It was fantastic. Thank you, audience, for pitching in and asking questions and being part of the conversation as well. And it's been so good to have you back out, Nora. So we've all been curious. I say you're still alive and that I've been talking to you, and others go, oh, no, I promise I was speaking to it. So it's really great to have you out.